Welcome back to the Rhodes Pod, episode 22. 21 was a while ago. It's time to get back on some podcasts, have some interesting guests lined up throughout the summer, try to hit the important news of the day as well as and that's what we're doing today, catching up with some items that have been discussed on previous podcasts. Make sure you click into my Rhodes Pod podcast. It's What's the Skinny? The Rhodes Pod, What's a Skinny podcast. It's available on all the main platforms for podcasts, including the RSS.com podcast format. And you can find it on YouTube as well in video form, of course. And that's at Rich Rhodes, RICHRHOADES 4861. Glad to have you here. Episode 22. Episode 21 included some information, included two guests from Westminster Titans baseball team from Red Bank Valley, the graduates Brecken Minnick and Ty Carrier. And I don't know if I cursed them or not, because Westminster, which won the President's Athletic Conference regular season title, went into the conference playoffs as a top seed. They went 0-2, their season ending at 28-12. And actually that tied their program record for wins in a season. Brecken Minnick and Ty Carrier, as I said, freshman Brecken Minnick and sophomore Ty Carrier. Carrier ended up having a couple postseason awards go his way. In the PAC, he was a first-team pitcher, all-conference. Followed that up with a Division III, D3Baseball.com All-Region 7 selection this past week. He finished the season 5-1 with a 1.51 ERA in 17 appearances, covering 35 2/3 innings. Congratulations to Ty Carrier. Fantastic sophomore season, pitching out of the bullpen for the Westminster Titans. On to track and field in college. Division I, we've had Evie Bliss on the show as well with with throws coach Ryan Protzman. And Evie Bliss clinches a third straight in as many years, she's a junior, to the national championships, Division I championships in Eugene, Oregon, University of Oregon's Hayward Field. She just qualified for nationals by winning the NCAA first round regional in Lexington, Kentucky on Thursday, and she won it with just one throw. You only get 3 throws at regionals, and the top 12 out of 24 throwers in Lexington qualified. We're going to punch a ticket to nationals. And that's what Bliss did. She was the top seed. She's been the top seed and best thrower all year. And her first throw on Thursday in Lexington, 200 feet and 2 inches. That's her second straight NCAA first round title. Last year, she won it with a 187.2. She went to nationals and finished 12th. And now she will be going to Hayward Field for the 8th time overall, counting non-NCAA events. It's her third trip to nationals as many years. She was 5th in the first round as a freshman. She threw a 170.10 and then placed 13th that year. It's a 24-thrower field. Bliss will throw June 11th at nationals, and that the NCAA Championships Division I is June 10th through the 13th. We'll be able to get more information on that. She is currently ranked 27th in the world as per athletics.com, directathletics.com, and she will be in a field that includes a couple other big-time throwers. She has thrown several over 190 feet this year. That was her second best throw on Thursday at 200 feet 2 inches. So runner-up was Eleanor Patrick of Alabama with a throw of 190 feet 3 inches. A couple of throwers back advancing to nationals from the East region. Shay Green of Princeton, she was 10th last year, 16th in 2024. And Desania Teixeira of Miami, Florida, she was 21st last year, 8th on the podium in 2024. The West had last year's national champion, Valentina Barrios Bornicelli of Missouri. She's a Colombian native. She won the national title last year with a throw of 203 feet 5 inches. She's ranked 19th in the world. And she was 11th in the world last year at the World Championships in Japan. Bliss qualified for that. If you remember, she finished 19th. She was the SEC champion this spring. She threw a 191-foot, 4-inch title throw in the SECs. And then at the West region, she threw a 188-2. Again, only a couple throwers have been in over 190 this year. Bliss has done it a handful of times, at least a half a dozen times, and she's been over 200 feet twice. But as you know, it only takes one, and Bornicelli will be certainly a thrower to watch. The other one that qualified out of the West, Irene Jepkemboy of Kenya. She's from Texas Christian University. She finished third last year at Nationals with a throw of 197 feet, 10 inches. She was fourth in 2024, and she's currently ranked 39th in the world, and she finished 13th at the World Championships last year as well. The other notable thrower from the West who qualified, Michaela Vander Westhuizen from Rice. She's obviously an international thrower going to Rice. I don't recall what country. I think South Africa. She finished 7th at Nationals last year, 3rd in 2024, and 11th in 2023. Much experience and much success at Nationals. Jepkemboy, Barrios, Bornicelli, and Vander Westhuizen will give Miss Bliss a run for her money. We will assume that this is her 8th trip to Hayward Field. That is an amazing stat. That is the mecca of track and field, and this will be number 8 trip for Bliss. So good luck to Evie Bliss. She will be throwing again on June 11th, and I believe that's the second of 4 days at Eugene, Oregon's University of Oregon. That's where that is, and Hayward Field will be the mecca, will be the epicenter of track and field over that weekend. That's a couple weeks away. Again, Bliss trying to get her first podium finish at the NCAA Championships. Speaking of track and field, I believe I made my 16th trip to Nationals, the PIAA Championships at Shippensburg University last Friday and Saturday. And from all accounts, anybody that's been there as much or more than me, that is the worst weather we have had to deal with, athletes included, of course, not just the media. We get a tent, but I had long underwear on Sunday, and most of my trip, I had an umbrella over my head from about Friday afternoon through the rest of the competition on Saturday. And for only the 6th time in the last 40 years and only the 3rd time since 2000, a District 9 athlete has failed to win a state title, but 17 medals in all. And I wouldn't classify this as a failed trip for District 9 as far as state championships go. It was not, there wasn't anybody bona fide favorite. Now, Brookville's Hayden Freeman went into the weekend as the number 1 seed in the 100 and 200. The sprints are so volatile, and as we found out, the top seed did not win the state title. Hayden Freeman, congratulations, a well-decorated runner in his career at Brookville. We had him here on the show earlier this spring. He finished 2nd in the 200 dash to Deacon DeHote. Freeman ran an 11:65, which is his 2nd best time. DeHote ran a 21:29 in the 200 to win his 2nd state title. DeHote won the 100 dash in 10.51 seconds. He matched up pretty well against the AAA champ. I believe he had the best time in the state over the weekend in the 200 and tied in the 100. Congratulations to the Beth Center runner who actually went to Jefferson Morgan, and coincidentally, DeHote is going to the same school this fall as Mr. Freeman. They're both going to Cal U of PA. And DeHote was a linebacker, a big guy, about 6 foot, 200 pounds. It looks like he might have some interest in track and field now with his 2 state titles in the 100 and 200. Freeman also medaled on Friday. He did not make it out of the 100 prelims. Disappointing, no doubt about it. But he rebounded and won a high jump medal Friday afternoon, right before the weather got bad. He finished 3rd. So Freeman with a state medal in the high jump. That's his 3rd individual medal. I believe 5 state medals for Hayden Freeman in his career. Congratulations. Central Clarion Wildcats, they went 3 for 3 in the medal hunt for their relays last year with a state title in the 4x1. They did it again this year, albeit no state title. 2 4th-place medals in the 4x4 and the 4x1. Central Clarion Wildcats also finished 8th in the 4x8. These are all 2A boys. Sam Krug of Brookville wins his first 300 hurdles medal, finishing 8th in the 300 in the 300s. Ethan Tarbox, Port Allegheny, nice effort by him in the discus. He finishes second. Lachlan Tabachek, a returning state medalist, he finished third. He's from Oswego Valley, finished third in a triple jump. Alex Wilson of Karn City wins his second medal in the pole vault. He tied for fourth this time around. And Cranberry's Shane Clark finishing eighth in the javelin. So of the 17 medals, 3, 6, 9, I believe 10 came from Class 2A boys. Class 2A girls, Allie Wilson of Brookville, her second state medal. She finished fourth in javelin. She was sixth last year. Katie Straub's first medal in the high jump. She's a junior, Elk County Catholic. She tied for eighth in the high jump. Darian Wenner finishes sixth in the pole vault. She's from Cranberry. And Peyton McElravy, the D9 champion in the javelin, she finishes right behind Wilson, the D9 runner-up on the podium at state. She finished fifth. Class 3A girls, Eliana Kostok of Punxsutawney finishing sixth in the pole vault. Fabian Shirk, a double medal winner in the jumps in Class 3A boys. He's from Bradford. He finished sixth in the long jump and seventh in the triple jump. 17 state medals, no state champs. Again, only the third time since 2000, but that was kind of not a big surprise or a big fail as well. The 17 medal total, slightly, let's look at here. I've been looking at that. So for comparisons, in 2025, there were 23 state medals won by D9 athletes. The last time over 20 was in 2019 with 25 medals, and there were 26 in 2018. So there's been some high teens as well. So 17 actually is the least amount since 2021, which is the last time no state champion. There were 15 state medals won by D9 athletes that year. So maybe a reflection of just cycles as we've seen many times over different sports. On to PIAA baseball and softball. District 9 champs were crowned in those two sports, and the first round of the PIAA playoffs starting Monday. And I'll take you down through those several games around the state. Again, first round games are played at home sites or a site that team will use as a home site. So we'll start with softball. In Class 1A, DuBois Central Catholic, shock surprise, back in states again. Riley Kabatsky leading the way on the mound for the Lady Cardinals. They will be hosting Juniata Valley, the District 6 runners-up. They will be playing at 4 o'clock at Heindel. 3 games at Heindel at noon. It's Brockway, the 2A champs from District 9, hosting Neshannock, the WPIAL runners-up. That game will be at noon at Heindel on Monday. Cranberry, the D9 runner-up, they'll go on the road to Everett, and they'll play that game Monday at 4 o'clock. Class 4A, Punxsutawney will be hosting Blackhawk, the WPIAL runner-up. Punxsutawney winning the District 9 championship, of course, and winning a sub-regional game to get the state berth. Class 5A, the DuBois Beavers at home against North Hills. North Hills, the WPIAL runner-up. That game would be played at Heindel Field as well, and that's a 2 o'clock game. Baseball, Class 1A, Sarah Catholic will be going to District 9 champion Elk County Catholic for a 4 p.m. game Monday at Berwyn Park. Sarah Catholic is a very familiar team getting out of the Whitfield playoffs. They're the third seed out of the Whitfields this year. That's in Class 1A. The runner-up from D9 is Clarion. They will be visiting Eden Christian, the WPIAL runner-up, at 3:30. Eden Christian in the Pittsburgh area. I don't know where that is, actually. That's a 3:30 game. In 2A, Montauk will be playing at home, their home park, and that's at Slippery Rock University. The Warriors will be hosting District 4 runner-up. How about that trip for Southern Columbia from District 4, which is near Williamsport, clear out to Slippery Rock University? That's a 4:30 game. And Red Bank Valley, the D9 runner-up, they were denied by Montauk. Great game. I saw that one on Memorial Day. 1-0 Montauk over the Bulldogs, denying the Bulldogs of a 4th straight District 9 title. Nonetheless, the Bulldogs still get to go to the state playoffs, and the Bulldogs will travel to WPIAL champion Neshannock. Neshannock is in the Newcastle area. That game's scheduled for 5 p.m. In Class 5A, DuBois baseball at home against Montour, and that is a 3rd seed from the WPIAL. So if you get the theme, a lot of WPIAL versus D9 games here in the first round. The Beavers will be hosting Montour at 4:30 at Showers Field on Monday. The next round would be Thursday, followed by another Monday game. So that's a 16-team bracket, of course, single elimination. It's a 2-week bracket ending the following Friday or Saturday, and we'll be following that. We'll see if any teams can make some noise. One other thing, more of a local, obviously, and make sure you follow the coverage. Courier Express in Du Bois. I'm a part of that news group. I am the sports editor of the Leader Vindicator and the Jeffersonian Democrat out of Brookville, Leader Vindicator out of New Bethlehem. So I'll be going to the Red Bank Valley game on Monday. And I was at track, obviously covering for the greater area, covered by the Courier Express. Make sure you also check into the YDL Sports Network, D9and10sports.com. They'll have some coverage there as well, and perhaps a couple games streamed, maybe the Heindel Field, a trio of games there. That's where they might be. But again, look for coverage from those two entities. Again, I'll be going to Red Bank Valley on Monday. And I'll finish up with something that was requested, being from Brookville. I really enjoy Hall of Fame projects, and Brookville has a Hall of Fame, not a sports Hall of Fame, a Hall of Fame. And areas of consideration include achievement, leadership, arts, athletics, and the criteria, and volunteer community service. I talked to John Poza, who's the chairman of the Hall of Fame committee, and he was looking for nominations for those who are interested. That deadline is the end of July. And when you hear Hall of Fame, you think sports. And I tell you what, I felt that a Hall of Fame that wasn't just sports, it was sketchy. I was skeptical, but it has been a really good project that's gone forward. Plaques hanging up in the lobby at Brookville. And if you have any nominations, go to basd.us and look for the criteria. Actually, you can do a search, basd.us, and type in that in Google and put Hall of Fame, and it'll give you all of the areas of consideration. For instance, a person to be eligible for selection, individuals must have graduated from Brookville Area High School at least 10 years prior to nomination. Employees, coaches, or volunteers must be retired or not coaching and or volunteering at the school for 5 years. Individuals meeting this criteria who are deceased are also eligible. So keep that in mind if you have any ideas. And then the class of 2026 will be announced by September 1st. And then usually on homecoming weekend, that's when the ceremony is done, and those who are honored get inducted then. It's been a great thing. Again, look up that information, and make sure you click on to my Facebook site. Again, it's under my name, Rich Rhoades, RHOADES. I post a lot of information there throughout the season, even this summer. And a project that I'm getting started, I'm going to start a new Facebook page. It's called Sandlot Chronicles. And I want some people to send in some information, some things regarding past adult baseball seasons. I'm focusing this summer on a project regarding 1976. So that would be teams playing in the JI League. That's a Jefferson, Indiana County League. And that would be where the Brookville Grays were playing at the time, along with the Rossiter Miners, teams that are familiar in recent years in the Federation League, which is not playing this year. And the Federation League did exist back in 1976. So I'm doing a project on what was going on that season, name dropping. So look for my Facebook page. I'm going to start a new page on that, and you'll be able to go to my Facebook page and see that information and contribute pictures, any stories. Again, I'll be looking for any information to help chronicle those years. That year, but I'm interested in getting pictures or any memories and just anything like that for those. Obviously, if you played in the Fed League in 1976, you're getting older, but we like to reminisce, and I like to make sure that history is accounted for as we go through the summer months here, looking for some good reading stories. You'll get that. Again, in the Courier Express, that's a planned feature, and on my Facebook page. So be looking for that. And thanks for checking in with the Rhoades Pod, What's a Skinny Podcast. I'll be having some more interviews coming throughout the summer. I hope you get back here, and I hope you enjoy this and whatever else I have for you this summer. Have a good one, guys.